I'm prolific, so gifted. I'm the type that's gon' go get it. No kidding. Breaking down a switch in front of your building.
Yo, what's going on, wonderful people? It's your boy Niño, and I'm back at it with another episode of Around the Block Sports Podcast, episode 4. I want to give a shout out to everybody that is been supporting us and showing love, and also enjoying the content as well, though, too. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell so you don't miss a pull-up. So let's get right into it and let's pull up. So there's been some changes in the NBA landscape since we last met. We got Bradley Beale being able to get out of the Suns, throwing up his due signs and says, I'm out of here. And he's headed to the Clippers on a 2-year deal with $11 million. CP3 has also joined the Clippers. Talks about how much playing time he's going to get, but Beal's already offered up his number 3 for CP3 to have that. So it's definitely a homecoming there. I think it'll help them, even if he doesn't play that much, because it'll keep Beal away from having to really run the offense and be the off guard that he is, knocking down catch and shoot shots, and then obviously being able to create as well too. We already know they added John Collins and Brook Lopez, so they got size and they picked up some guards as well too. You already know that concerns with them is that they're an older team. I think they're averaging over 32 years of age, so we'll see what that looks like. You also got Dame Lillard being able to go back home, where it all started as far as his basketball career in the NBA in Portland, where his family is at, where he wants to be able to rehab and get back grounded. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to be out of here. But Drew Holiday is there. They have all their young asset. They did great this past draft. He'll be in there coaching and beginning to lay down the seeds for when he's able to return. And we'll see what that team looks like. But you also got Marcus Smart heading to the Lakers, being able to be waived from Washington, which is good. They got a point of attack defender. They got somebody that Luka highly respects. We'll see if he's in the starting lineup, see how they work that. LeBron James is already, he's seen him drop his little social media video, heading into work, driving through the roads and whatnot. So he's back at it. So we'll see what that team looks like. Speaking of LeBron James, we all know that he's been in trade talks. One of the teams that have come up, obviously, is the Miami Heat. They're always in these hunt for these stars, and always a team that's mentioned. Obviously, we know of their head coach, Eric Spoelstra. You always know that they'll always be competing. And with the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James possibly having to split the new ownership with the Lakers, there's a little bit of a situation. Also, maybe does LeBron James feel like this is the best roster for him? Obviously, yes, they have Luka, but is it time for him to move on? And then with the Heat being there, they have a bit of a package that they can give. The trade scenario would be Bronny James, Dalton Connect, for Andrew Wiggins, Terry Rozier, Jaime Jaquez Jr., the 2029 first round pick, and the 2030 first round pick. Swap top 3% protected. The only question here is really Terry Rozier. What are they going to get out of that? And if that's enough for them, they obviously get the 2 first round picks. One is unprotected, other one is top 3 protected. So they still have stock for the future. You know, Andrew Wiggins on a smaller scale could still give them what LeBron does offensively, getting downhill, posting up, and can hit down the 3 as well too. And it's also an elite defender too. Jaime should be bouncing back. He's been playing through injuries the last 2 years. He's had the groin situation, but he should be able to have a breakout year this well. So this might be enough. I think that obviously Brodny coming to the Heat would be good for his career and his development as well, too. The mix of LeBron James, as you see here, Tyler Hero, and obviously his relationship that he's built from Team USA with Bam Adebayo as well, too. We're at the 5, Bam at the 4. You got LeBron playing the 3. Then you have a shooter like Norman Powell, Tyler Hero at the point, and you bringing over Dalton Connect, who's going to be able to stretch the floor off the bench. You'll still have Jovic. You'll still have Highsmith. You'll have defenders, people that can shoot. I think that if they do this trade for the Heat, they have to still find a backup big. Obviously, they got the young guy from Michigan who's been playing in Summer League. I'll throw up his name, but I can't remember his name right now. But I mean, they have him as well too. It looks like he'll be on the roster. But they gotta be able to get another big. I think that's where they're lack. I think they they have enough on the bench. Obviously, reading here saying that the Lakers was ever forced to trade James, the initiation would have to come from his side. It's just seek out a package that provides both win now support for Luka Doncic and the long term assets that could create a better future for around him. So obviously they get the 2 first-round picks. Then you have bench help with Jaime Jaquez, who can put the ball in the basket. He has great footwork. He has improved his 3-point shot. You still get a scoring punch from Wiggs. He can still give you 30, high 25, and he can explode for 40. So that works. And then you also get another ball handler in Rozier. So if we get anything close to what Rozier was when he was in Charlotte, then I think that's more help for Luka as well too. They can get an off guard and Rozier, who's able to create. We'll just see if obviously his off the court allegations with the being under investigation for gambling. We'll see what happens with that. So I mean that's definitely something interesting to look at. Now I mean the Lakers really have made moves. We mentioned the Marcus Smart, and if LeBron doesn't get traded, he stays. Does Luka potentially have an MVP year in him? We've seen how fit he is, how much weight he's lost, and everything. Like, does Luka put on one of the best seasons that we've ever seen as far as for the league, and obviously for him in his career? Obviously, he went to work after months of nearly constant picking his physique of lack of thereof after Luka's infamous trade to the Los Angeles Lakers. He suddenly looks as trim as he has in years. Hasn't looked like this player since perhaps as far back as his rookie campaign in 2018. I think he'll put up all the numbers that needs to be there, but I think they'll still find a reason to give it to a big, to be honest, like an Antetokounmpo, who might be really hungry to be the best player he possibly can be, to get Milwaukee back into the playoffs and deep into the playoffs. I think you have SGA would be a fan favorite or a media's favorite, a darling, so to say. But I, I truly believe that at the end of the day, Jokic is the best player outside of, obviously, like I said, I mentioned LeBron still being the king, still having the throne, but Jokic is still the best player. What he did in that 7-game series against the Thunder, even though they made it difficult for him, says a lot because he didn't really have that much on his team. And I think with the addition of Cam Johnson, and him getting Bruce Brown, who understands that offense and that system, I think that he has even more weapons to be even greater, a better passer. And he'll have one of the most efficient seasons in my opinion. Obviously, let's move on to some of this free agency individuals that seem to still be available. Obviously, big name is Jonathan Kuminga. He's been basically squeezing the Golden State. I think he leaves. I think he squeezed them of every bit of time that they can have to really like make something of their roster, and then he bounces. Apparently, they've offered him I guess a 2-year, $40 million contract. That looks like 20 a year. Yeah, he didn't take it. He's still seeking a sign and trade, so he's squeezing them. They really haven't made any additions to their roster. The talks have been they want to take care of this first, but he's been dragging it out. And I know that's just going to make Golden State not be able to build going into the season. And they're going to have to rely on their aging, top players, with Curry leading. And then you got Jimmy and Draymond Green. So you also have Josh Giddy as well, too. Restricted free agent has been more of a waiting game than ever this summer. And Chicago Bulls guard Josh Giddy is one of several examples. After averaging 21, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists in 19 games after the All-Star break, Giddy seems poised to secure a massive deal from a Bulls team that had painted itself into a corner. Because Chicago's got nothing else besides Giddy from the Oklahoma City for Alex Caruso, it could possibly allow the 22-year-old to escape for nothing. I think that's interesting. That's really the situation. They don't really know what to do. They don't want to give him up for nothing, and then they really don't want to pay him. Like, you're putting yourself in that situation. Obviously, you made the deal for Alex Caruso. You got back a very good player. He basically found himself once again when he got to Chicago, getting out of, I guess, the shadow of the light of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Um, I think you pay him. I mean, 21, 10, and 9. He's nearly averaging a triple double, nearly 20 games after the All-Star break. He hit the half court buzzer beater. I think what was it against the Lakers? He definitely gave my team, the Heat, some work as well too towards the end of the season as well too. Yeah, I mean, just sign him, man. Add to it. Him and Kobe White seem to have some type of gel, and just continue to build. They brought back Bobby Donovan, so I mean, why the fuck not? I don't really understand. Like, just bring the guy back, you know. Moving on, obviously we just talked about Kuminga. Quentin Grimes is still a restricted free agent. Now Quentin Grimes is interesting because just like Giddy, he had put up some numbers, and I think he was leading the Sixers in scoring. He was it says here shockingly self-sufficient on ball scoring. He flashed for 28 games with the Sixers, came out of nowhere. They got questions, if they can really trust what they saw late in the season and that type of explosion. Typically, the kind that comes on a tanking team against mostly checked out opponents are rarely legit. I think that's a little harsh. I mean, he could shoot the ball. He looked like he could definitely put the ball on the floor. And then obviously he can play defense at a high level. I mean, makes him an inside out 3-and-D guy who would be very valuable on a championship team if they can. I guess for him in his camp, if they can hope that maybe Golden State might be interested, and if once they figure out what they're gonna do with Kuminga, that would be a great fit as another 2 guard and a 3 who can play the wing, be a point attack defender, and can also put the ball in the basket. I think this will actually be a great pickup for the Golden State Warrior, if anything. Just moving along, Cam Thomas is another restricted free agent who is an elite scorer. I think he'll be a great fit in a emerging team that needs a guard who's a scorer who can go out there and go get it and put the ball in the bucket. But I think he'll also be a great 6 man on a contending team who's already has a starting lineup solidified. Like, I mean, if Miami doesn't make a push for LeBron, I think that if they're able to package Terry Rozier, maybe Pella Larson, and a pick, and do a sign and trade for him, I think him coming off the bench, being the 6 man, or even playing in the starting lineup, and playing Norman Powell at the 3s. I think that'll be a very great look for the Heat. I'm gonna be biased, big Heat fan, so when I first think about it, I'm looking at it like that. But I mean, like I mentioned, he could start on an up and coming team who's going to be legit, maybe like a Chicago, and play an undersized 3. You could also talk about maybe getting over to the Indiana Pacers. Maybe they got some assets that they can trade, some dead contract salary that they want to get off, and they could do a sign and trade. Another team I think that can use his services is the Dallas Mavericks. I think that yes, they got D'Angelo Russell, but I think they need. I think they need to bring him in and start him over probably Klay Thompson and bring Klay Thompson off the bench. And you can still play Klay Thompson about 25 to 28 minutes. So you kind of split that playing time, but you get that instant offensive punch that he gives. You can get that early on, and then you can manage the game with Klay. I think that's also be a good look for the Mavs, and I think he'll play good off of Kyrie. His rookie year was 21. James Harden, KD, and Kyrie were all still on the team. So I think he'll be able to, play alongside Kyrie when he makes his return as well too. Al Horford is interested. I just, at 39 and possibly going to the Golden State Warriors. I just wonder, like, it's just the age. It's not as mobile as he used to be, going lateral and really defending. He'll be able to definitely stretch the floor for Golden State, and that'll be huge. But I worried about him on the defensive end and for playing for a full season. Like, if they get Horford, they still need another big. I mean, obviously they got Jackson Davis, and they got Post. So maybe that is enough, and they're adding him. It just kind of fills that out. But I think he starts, and obviously he gives wisdom to these younger guys. But we'll see. I think he It's interesting, but how much can he actually give throughout a full season and a full playoff run? I mean, he's done it consistently, being in the playoffs and deep playoff runs with Boston, but we'll definitely see what he's capable of doing. He's not going to give you high scoring value, but obviously maybe in that Golden State system, he's able to, get off more threes and give him a good scoring value at the 5 position. Westbrook, I think he has to, for Westbrook, I feel like he needs to get himself in the right title contending team. Like, if it's going back to OKC, if it's coming to Miami, I think even the New York Knicks, I think those are 3 good places for him. Obviously, if you go to the Heat, you got to get rid of Terry. You got to stretch him or something. I don't know. But no, Westbrook has to still be competing for a championship. Like, don't settle and like fall to one of these like mediocre teams just to get another bag or nothing like that. Like, go get it. Like, he still has so much value. I think end of the season he had some of those like late game layup misses and stuff like that. But the 3-point shot has improved. His energy, his pace, his passing. He's unpredictable. He's a wild card, and you definitely need that. He's a Hall of Famer. We all know how great of a point guard he is. So I definitely want to see that for him. Let's take a look at what are some 5 confusing rosters right now. Obviously, the Boston Celtics is definitely a confusing roster, but they have a lot of bigs. They got Tillman, they got Kuta, they got Garza, they got Hazard, and they got Niño also in front court. With White and Brown still on the team. Are they going to tank? Are they going to play? They're going to play through the season on the backs of Brown. Is Brown that guy? Can he lead a team? I think he'll take the challenge. I think we'll see that. I think Joe Mazzulla is very competitive. And then obviously Boston is a blue collar, city. I mean, they're going to want you to play. They don't want mediocre. So I expect them to be in the fold. I expect them to be in, middle of the pack. But they're not making noise. I mean, Brown will have to elevate his play even higher. I think he would have to play to his contract level. And I don't think he's that nice. He's cool. He ain't that nice though. The Kings are another one that gets me. I mean, they just have great talent. They have Malik Monk. They got DeMar DeRozan. They have Sabonis. They have Zach LaVine. Like, they have the talent. They have great talent. They don't have a bad bench either. I don't get it. I don't understand what it is about them. Sabonis specifically called for the Sacramento Kings to add a point guard this offseason. They responded by overpaying the point guard adjacent Dennis Schroeder. So Dennis Schroeder's in the fold. Between him, Keon Ellis, Zach LaVine, Malik Monk, and Devin Carter, Sacramento seems obsessed with beating out the Phoenix Suns for the team with the most guards who aren't actually point guards. So we'll see what happens there, but that's definitely tough. We'll like to see Lamar get freed up at his age and obviously get himself in a situation where he can contribute on a championship team. Obviously, maybe come back out to the East. We'll see. I mean, I just would like to see him get freed up. Zach LaVine's a really great player, but it's tough. They got to figure this out. They got to be better. To be honest with you, they just got to be better. All right, guys, we're going to end it there with this latest episode of Around the Block Sports Podcast. Pull up on the world of sports. Just kind of getting some updates on the NBA landscape. So I appreciate y'all checking in and tapping in with me. And remember, always stay 10 toes down. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Yeah, stay tuned.
I'm prolific, so gifted. I'm the type that's gon' go get it. No kidding. Breaking down a swish in front of your building.